Okay, so let's get started on this little warm, cozy eye look. It has been so cold lately that I'm done. I'm done with being cold. Well, actually, it's only been cold for like 2 days, and I'm already sick of it. It's weird. I'm in the mood for something warm and toasty on the eyes. It'll make me feel warm on the inside. And I have a new blush that I want to test out and do a look kind of geared around it. So I have the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder Flushed from Danessa Myricks. And this is a creamy product. Initially, like it's balmy, but then it goes to kind of a matte, or not matte, but like a powdery texture on the skin. So I have it in the shade Golden Hour, which is beautiful coral. So I want to do something that this can tie into because I think this color is so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so perfect for summer. I'm definitely going to be loving it for them. But yeah, it is a balmy cream texture. And then it is so pretty. Look at that color. And it feels kind of powdery and very blendable, and just it goes to like a nice soft powder finish. It reminds me a little bit of like the e.l.f. Putty cream blushes, or a little bit like the Milani ones. Very similar to that in texture. And yeah, I just thought this color was gorgeous, and I'm very excited to try that out. That was sent to me from Danessa Myricks in Skeepers. So yeah, I got that on my hand now forever. So this does claim to blur skin, so yeah, we're gonna do something that will tie into that. And I'm also going to dinner tonight, so I wanted to do something a little bit glam as well. I'm in the mood for glam today and warm, toasty looks. So we're gonna basically throw it back to 2016 here with a nice warm brown smoky eye. And for the eyes, I am gonna use the Huda Empowerment palette because it's got some really pretty warm tones in here. Definitely gonna be dipping into like these shades over here, the dark brown, and this shimmer right here I think will be the star of the show. So yeah, let's dive on in here. I've already primed my eyes with a Sigma eye base and put a little bit of translucent powder throughout to just kind of lock everything in, and have done my brows. So I'm gonna dip into Power first, which is the lightest shade in this little palette. And I'm going to take it on a fluffy brush and start to bring that through the transition above my crease. And just start to do a little blending action just to kind of get the look started. With a light hand. I know I don't live in the coldest climate. I actually live in I think we're considered a subtropical climate where I'm at. I'm in Louisiana. And this has actually been a pretty nice warmer winter compared to like the last couple of years. The last couple of years have been just like bitter, cold, horrible, like snowing. Remember Snowpocalypse, you know. This year's been really pleasant. It's just been a bit rainy, but it got so cold the last couple of days. And it's not even the coldest it's been here. Like at Christmas, it was like 13 degrees. It's just like in the 40s. But I'm like, I'm so cold. I don't know. Like, I just could not get warm the last couple of days. Like, I just feel like my insides were cold. I think I had a chill, really, is what was wrong with me. And yeah, I just wanted to do a look to make me feel warm, I guess. I don't know. I just was feeling particularly cold. I think it's because it was that time of the month. And I was really tired. I was feeling very anemic. I'm going to jump over to a little bit more of a concentrated pointed crease. This is also from Sonia Kashuk. And I'm going to go into, I think, Best Self next. Which in the pan doesn't look that much different than Power, but it's actually quite different in application. Like, it's got way more vibrancy and depth to it. You can definitely tell the difference in swatch, but just looking at them in the pan, you're like, that looks redundant. But no, it's there for a reason. You see it's adding a bit more depth in there. I'm just taking a little more concentrated, like right out here and into the socket line a little more. And now I'm going to jump over to the shade called Legacy, which is a really just classic warm reddish brown, very typical, you know, shade that we used to see so much of. And I'm going to take this a little more focus into that socket line. I gotta admit, I still love a good warm brown look. I always will. I think it's just one of those things. And I think warm browns look beautiful year round as well. I know I tend to want to do them more in the fall, but I think they can be really pretty for summer, winter when you're just feeling cold and want to feel warm. It's really nice. I just wanted a little bit of warmth, a little bit of a chocolatiness in here. So we're gonna go with that darkest brown to bring in that chocolate vibe. I'm just building this up a little bit, right into that socket. Just doing a back and forth motion. And because this is a tapered brush, you do get a little more like a focused kind of pinpoint. And then the bristles around do a little bit of the blending for you. This I really love about a good pointed crease brush. And Sonia Kashuk has a fantastic one. This just, they sell it individually at like Target in store and online. I originally got one in a set and fell in love with it and bought like 5 of them individually because they're that good. I will forever rave about the Sonia Kashuk brushes. I think they're fantastic value and quality. I've had some of her brushes for almost 10 years now, and they are thriving and still performing really well. I've never had any of her brushes fall apart on me, lose bristles, nothing like that. And these black ones particularly are so soft. Like they rival my Sigma brushes easily, or any of the more expensive brushes I have. Haze there. I'm going to go back to my original blending brush. This is like a bit more of a fluffy rounded brush from Sonia Kashuk. And I'm just going to take that like right around these edges just to make sure everything is soft with no product. If you're struggling with blending, keep a clean brush on hand just to come around those edges. That will really help you out a lot. And just keep everything nice and smooth and flowing nicely. All right, now I'm going to take a different size Sonia Kashuk brush. It's like a little packer brush. And I'm going to jump over to this cream gel shade in here, which is called Worthy. It is a really dark purpley brown. I'm going to use that on the outer and inner corner. I'm just going to blend it in as a nice base to get us started with the darker shades. Could do this first if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter. Pop that right out here on this outer V area. This is really where I'm going to want the most depth in the look. I'm going to pull it up and out in a little bit of a winged shape. And whatever's left on the brush here, I'm going to come on the inner corner and just tuck it right in there. Okay, and now I'm going to clean that brush off and then soften these edges just a little bit. That's just going to give me a nice little base to start with what I'm going to do next. Now I'm going to take well, you can use the same brush. I'm going to switch over to a Sonia Kashuk lay down brush, I believe is what this is called. Just kind of flat, but a little fluffy, and it's got a nice rounded point to it. And I'm going to go into the shade Confident and start to build that over where we put that cream. And a little bit on the inner corner as well. That's what's left on the brush. And I'm just patting it where I want it initially. All right, then I'm going to clean the brush off and just use it to blur these edges and blend that. I'm not worried about the center of the lid, if that looks blended. More concerned with the crease and outer V area. And this little portion looking nice. This is what I call like my lifted halo eye. So halo eye tends to bring out the roundness in your lids, and you tend to do a rounder shape with it. But I love doing them where you also add the lift at the outer corner. I feel like that balances it and can still give that lifted appearance to the lids. I have droopy lids, so I'm always trying to combat that. Always have, always will. And it's not that I dislike my eye shape or anything. I just prefer to add that little bit of depth out there and that little bit of something. And I'm going to build that up a little more and just do some back and forth between this and blending it so I get that depth where I want it. And I'm not going to worry about getting messy or anything like that because we haven't done any foundation yet. I'm going to go back to my little more concentrated lay down brush. Pat that right out there. And I'm going to go back to my little pointed crease here. And I'm just going to swoop right here at this. Just do a little blend right here at this outer corner around these edges. Start softening that out and blending. And I'm using just that little pointed tip of the brush and just doing some little swirls very lightly just to diffuse those edges. And then I'm going to take just a touch more Legacy just on the tip of this brush and come right at that edge and blend that out. And just take it up and out. All right. Clean it off, clean the brush off one more time and get back to Best Self. And a little more blending. And these eyeshadows are really easy to blend. I'm just being extra. So I'm going to grab a little, this is Morphe 506. Just come right out here with that darkest brown, Confident. Just make sure that depth level is really nice, but still diffused at the same time. Another thing I highly recommend is little tiny blending brushes. They are so handy if you got little shrimp eyes like myself. Sigma has some great ones, and as much as I'm not a fan of Morphe, they do have some nice little teeny tiny brushes that are more affordable. I feel like we could use maybe a little more of Legacy. Alright, biggest blending brush. Soften things out. Now reach up over to the center of the lid and go ahead and get that shimmer applied because I'm excited about that. So I'm going to take that little packer brush again and make sure there's no dark eyeshadow on it. And get a drink of coffee. Because coffee. And we're going to take the shade called Do It, which is this really pretty copper shimmer right here. It's very vibrant, a little bit fiery. I think it'd be really pretty paired with that dark shade that's almost purple, but not quite. Like a dark browny eggplant. So I'm going to pop a little bit of this on this here brush. Let's see how it goes. And I'm going to just put that on the blank spot. Yeah, that's the color. I'm going to take my finger and apply that to the center. This has almost that Super Shock shadow texture to it. It's very creamy, so it does pick up best on a finger. We can get a light wash of it with the brush. That's pretty. I like that color. I like that color a lot. And now we go back to the little brush and just soften any edges in between. And we go back to that little Morphe brush. and just soften right here where those two shades meet, very gently. And on the inner part, soften that up. All right, I'm gonna take this little brush called a Detail. Oh goodness, it's worn off. It's a little teeny tiny brush from Sonia Kashuk that is freaking awesome. Dip back into Confident with it just to get this inner part right here. It just fits so perfectly into that inner corner. And where I want to touch up. This is just incredibly relaxing to sit here and do this. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself right now. It's such a nice meditative thing to do. A little bit more of Do It. I'm taking everything above my crease as well. And just letting it kind of diffuse up and out. So I'm not afraid of the shimmer going up like into the crease and above it. I really don't mind that at all. I kind of like that look because it gives it a bit more of a grungy lived in feel. On that little Sigma brush, I'm going to take a bit more Legacy. Right out here. And really kind of create a winged lift with more depth out there. Just a little bit of that right around the darkest color on the inner corner. So it makes it feel a little more cohesive. All right, now I'm going to do a little bit like a liner situation here. I'm going to take an angled liner brush. And I'm using a million brushes today. It's just one of those days where we're going to use a million brushes. Some days, it's just the way it goes. I'm going to take the black cream gel stuff in here called Purpose. And I'm going to tuck it right here on the outer corner. The lash line. And just give it a little flickaroo. And it's kind of flowing into the darkest brown shade as well. So it's got a soft smokiness to it. It's not a harsh line. And I'm keeping it on the outer corner here of the lash line. And then basically following my lower lash line to angle the wing. I'm letting the liner just kind of taper in and disappear. I'm going to put that on the inner corner as well. The inner part of this lash line, upper lash line. Kind of underneath. I'll probably come back and tight line later, right after I do my lashes. It's easier because I feel like it kind of opens things up a little more. I can get in there better. This just kind of gives me my initial like idea of what I want to do. All right, now I'm going to tidy up the fallout quickly with a little bit of moisturizer on a Q-tip. I'm out of Q-tips in here, I think. Got 2. And you can do this with any product you want. I'm just using a tinted my moisturizer today. You can use micellar water, face primer, whatever. However you prefer. But this is why we do eyes first when we're doing dramatic looks. This is how things are looking so far with the fallout cleaned up. I am going to take my biggest blending brush and clean it off. And what I'm going to do is just soften right here. I think that's not my brush I wanted. This one. So that that is not harsh. I'm going to get my complexion on my back for the lower lash line. Lashes, play with this blush and all the finishing touches, lip, you know, the whole drill. And we're back in just a minute. And let's jump back and finish the lower lash line now. I'm going to grab this little teeny tiny one from Sonia Kashuk again. And I think I'm going to start with that brown gel liner shade. Or, yeah, it's kind of like a brown cream product. I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to run that along this lower lash line here and join that up to the wing. Or to the outer corner, rather. Yeah, we do have a little bit of wing, so... And keep that focused on the outer portion. Just let it barely graze in. And then a little bit right here. But not like a ton. If you feel like you go kind of mess up on the lower lash line or something, it's not looking the way you want it to, you can always take a little flat brush and touch a concealer and kind of tidy it up. I like to keep just a little on hand here and a itty bitty small brush and get some good precision with and clean up right in that inner corner. Sometimes I just blend down too far right there and it drives me crazy. And it's just a really easy way to kind of clean that up. All right, now I'm going to grab the brown eyeshadow Confident that we use in the outer corner and the inner corner. I'm going to try to keep that a little bit more on one side of the brush so it doesn't come down too far. Same brush, I just cleaned it off. And I'm going to tuck it right there over that cream. I'm going to clean that brush off. I'm going to take a Legacy, which is the warm reddish brown. Blend that in there, and I'm going to pull it all the way across. A little flat Sonia Kashuk brush and clean, and just kind of soften that out some and diffuse it so it doesn't look harsh. And if you feel like you've blended too low or something, take your makeup sponge and just kind of tap around under there like this. And it just helps to diffuse that. And keep everything looking neat and how you want it to look. I mean, up to you. And I'm going to, I think we need a tight line. I think that'll really pull this together. So I'm going to take some of the black. Let's see what this does in the waterline. Yeah, I think that improved it. Made my eye water. Of course. Black eyeliner is bringing the look together. That's what we were missing. It just gives it a lot of intensity. It's like I needed something between like the waterline, between the eyeshadow and my irises. Sometimes it just looks odd and you just need that little bit of a framing from some eyeliner. As much as I hate tight lining, sometimes I think it is necessary just to bring the look together. But I stand by just liking tight lining. Just bringing this, just blending that a little more. I kind of want it to hook around just a tad. Like that. I think that looks a little bit better. This looks cool. I'm gonna come under here. I think we need to brighten up the under eye just a touch, maybe. Just to kind of tidy things up and make sure that looks nice and diffused underneath. And a trick I like to do to ensure that is take like something like ambient lighting powder, any finishing powder you like. I'm just taking the ambient lighting powder and ethereal. I'm going to touch my brush into that and just come right under here. And just brighten that up. And then I'm going to pinch the brush. Just come along right there. I feel like that just smooths things out. I don't know. I've always done that with smoky eyes, and I feel like it's just a great little way to keep things looking blended. Now, I'm going to do a really light hand with this blush because I don't want it to take over the look. Because you have such a strong eye, I feel like we need to keep the blush pretty restrained. I'm going to do a look kind of around this blush, but today I feel like it's going to be a lot if we really go in hard with this. So I'm doing just the softest application of it. So I'm taking a floppier brush and I'm going to just touch into it and really work it off on the back of my hand a bit. And pat some on and see how this does. Oh yeah, that's perfect. With a light hand. Keeps it just a little bit restrained. But I can't wait to like use this color with a little bit of like some false tan on. Ooh, that's gonna look so pretty. That is beautiful. Beautiful shade. So blendable and easy to work with. I was a little concerned that it wasn't gonna go good. This eye look and be just too much. I think that is lovely. Very nice texture and formula. That's really good. That's really good. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just pounce over, make sure everything is marrying into the skin nicely. And for a little bit of glow on the skin, or highlighter rather, let's see, what do we want to use? I didn't pull a highlighter. I don't know why, I just wasn't thinking. Good old e.l.f. We'll use e.l.f. White Gold. Just a trusty highlighter. This is a humongous fan brush. I don't know why I'm using this. This fan brush is just way too big. Like, almost, I feel like this is a comically big fan brush. I have a nice one. I don't know where I put it. One that I like. I don't know why I grabbed this or just didn't grab my normal highlighting brush. You're just like grab something, you're like, why did I do that? Or use a product. Like, what made me reach for this? I wish I knew. That's comically big to me. Alright, let me grab that little teeny tiny brush one more time. Make sure it's as clean. And take just a touch of that highlighter. Come right here. Right. Lashes. I'm going to put on some falsies today because I feel like this look definitely calls for falsies. And I pulled some new ones out. This is from Kiss, of course. And this is with Meredith Duxbury. Disco Groovy. Definitely gonna trim them down a lot because they're big. But I think these will look nice with this look. Like some bold lashes, we'll just pull this together. You can get these out and get them measured up for my little shrimp eyes. Very fun. So fun. But yeah, we're gonna do a little lash surgery. Oh, they feel nice. They feel really good. Like, quality wise. I mean, they're big. So I'm gonna trim off probably 2 like clusters here to start. We'll see where we end up. Yeah, another cluster. It's easy when they have kind of a little cluster section because I can just measure them a heck of a lot easier. There we go, that's perfect. So 3 clusters. I think that was the same for the other ones from this Meredith Duxbury. I mean, the outer corner on these is pretty dramatic. I don't think it would suit me to have such a huge outer corner. I feel like that would just pull my eye down even more. It's just too much. Alright, I'm gonna get these lashes on and touch up the my brows just a little bit. Kind of just want to add my lift and snatch and tie them up just a touch, and we'll be right back. It takes me forever to do lashes, so. and we're back with lashes on, and I just did a little touch up underneath here because my eyes started watering, of course. And brows are touched up, so it is time for lips. And you know what? I'm going to keep it real chill today on the lips. We're not doing anything super crazy. Going in with a new little Maybelline vinyl ink here. And this is the shade Peppy. 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 And to do that, I'm going to do a little bit of lip liner first. Just a light little something to give my lips some shape. And this is just a Milani Sheep lip liner. I got hair all on my hands. I can't get it open. Okay. I had to zhuzh my hair out and add a little oil to the ends because it's feeling real dry. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little bit here. Oh, and I put on some setting spray. This is a natural finish from Wet n Wild, and it made my skin look so much, like, such a nice dewy level where we were, like, really matte earlier. There's a nice skin-like glow that I'm loving. And, of course, it's been a little while, so I'm also just gotten a little oily. This is my finger. Because I just wanted a little bit of something. Like, imagine we're just contouring our lip. That's what we're doing. Hey, remember how people were using their brow pencil for lip liner? Remember when that was a thing? That was weird. But I kind of liked it. But I wouldn't go waste my brow pencil on my lips. I got lip liners. Just get a lip liner. They come in the same shades. You can get a brown lip liner. The formula on a brow pencil is not quite right. You know, they're a little stiff. Some of these TikTok hacks are just ridiculous. Okay, give this a little shake. And go on in. This is a really, like, your lips are better kind of color. It's not quite as deep as I thought it would be. But it's pretty, and I think it'll go really nice with this look, since there's so much going on the eyes. I think that's a little too pink. What do you think? Do we like that? Yeah, I think we do. That's pretty. Yeah, your lips but better shade. Okay, nice. I think that looks really good with this look, actually. Kind of questioned it for a minute. It's like, ooh, is this kind of pink looking? But now that I've kind of hung out with it, lived with it for a minute, I like it. It's quite nice. I feel like I keep goofing my camera around. And I've got some new lights I'm going to be testing out soon. So I got to sort out a whole new setup for up here. That's going to be tomorrow's project. Not today. But I think that is our look complete. What do you guys think? I know, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I felt like doing something warm, cozy, grungy, and glam, and just my vibe. And I love the way these colors pair together. Yeah, and the Janessa Myricks blush, beautiful formula. Like, I don't get excited over, like, blush formulas that often, or think they're, like, super remarkable, but this is a really nice formula. I have, like, 2 other cream blushes that I truly like, and this fits right in with that vibe that I like. I like the putty blush from e.l.f., like that kind of formula, and I like the Milani Cheek Kiss formula, and this kind of is like a perfect little in-between of both of those. Very nice. It does look really smooth. Like, my cheeks look crazy smooth. But anyway, yeah, that I think is all for today. Thanks for hanging out with me and just getting ready together. I'm excited for dinner already. I'm hungry. I think we're going to go get Indian food tonight, which I've never had. So I'm excited. I am excited. We got a new restaurant in town. We're going to go check it out. Probably not the best idea on a Friday night because it's going to be busy, but yeah, that's what the plan is. So I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.